Apparently, the thing more difficult in the world is simplicity, right? To be simple looks like it's the more difficult thing. It's a contradiction. Should be the more simple thing, because in simplicity there's no purpose, there's no chain of thoughts, there's no names, no attributions, no adjectives, there's no comparison, no evaluation, no judgment. There is only restfulness, peace, enjoyment, being. And these qualities or characteristics that I have just mentioned happen to be our ground, our default nature. So, if we look like or seem to be removed from those peace, enjoyment, etc., it is not because these qualities or attributes are not present, because they are our nature. It is because something else is getting the attention that we have allowed to be placed on top of our nature, on top of that ground, that fundamental ground of being. Something else is occupying the spotlight of our consciousness. So something has fooled our consciousness. Into the belief that she, consciousness, is not enough on itself. Something has fooled, I repeat, our consciousness into the belief that she is not enough. So she looks for something else. That's something that has fooled. You see? So consciousness is fooled by the belief in its own smallness, insignificance, incompletion, but it can only be fooled while it's not actually attending to itself. One is distracted, while is distracted by that something. And that something is can only be a collection of assumptions, thoughts, concepts. So since time without beginning, so since immemorial time, this delusion goes on and on. We cannot identify when it started. We suddenly find ourselves, or found ourselves, little human beings, already afflicted by child problems or whatever, already afflicted by desire and aversion. So we don't know when we left the original paradise, when we left the Garden of Eden. We don't remember. It's without memory. We only know the memories of this conflicted entity. But once in a while, in our agitated, bumpy life, a moment of peace reveals, a moment of joy, of simplicity arises out of nothing, right? And then we think deludedly again that, oh, I was at the sea, and suddenly a feeling of totality filled me. Or I was making love, and suddenly I felt one with the other and the universe, or any of this kind. We attribute that sense of completedness to the experience of the moment, instead of realizing that this is you, that's you by default. When you are not fooled by other ideas that tell you what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad, what I want, what I don't want. When you are not experiencing this reality through the filter of thought, of the thinking mind, conceptual mind. So that's the case, that is that buffer of thoughts what is deluding our consciousness outside of itself. Worried by all this myriad of things that constitute the world of objects, the world of things, the world of people, the world of multiplicity or duality. So consciousness is preoccupied, we could say perpetually preoccupied, one thing after another. The fact that you are worried about another thing after you were worried by another thing before proves that the thing before didn't matter. But you are not there anymore, you are worried by the next thing. So you cannot make this reflection and see, well, that was not that important because now I'm not worried by that, I'm worried by something else.